Hey, what's up YouTube? So I finally made ASF Drone. I thought that I'd show you what it looks like before got into the tutorial. This is the best that I can do, I'll admit. It doesn't look very good and that's why it's taken me so long to make him. But because of the overwhelming unified requests that I kept receiving in my inbox every single morning, I decided I would make it anyway. It looks something close to if somebody was wearing a normal grey suit and it was sprayed with ink. But that's how the skin looks. He's essentially just wearing a grey suit with like darker grey, which you can't replicate, so in this case black just sprinkled on there. That's pretty much it. So, with all that being said, this is Jerome, and I'll be cutting out in I don't know when. Alright, so if you've decided you don't care how it looks and you want to make it anyway, you're going to need black, dark grey, light grey, white wool, red wool, brown wool, spruce wood, and I'm missing something. I'm always missing something. A little bit of nether brick maybe, perhaps, we'll have to see. Now, I wasn't sure which it was. I wasn't sure which is right for his shoes. I didn't know whether they were just a couple of rows of black blocks or whether he's now got some trainers. But I'm going to go with the trainers, so to make it a bit more interesting. I'm going to start off with a row of 8 white blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then throw a row of black on top. Then you want to throw white here and here. I'll show you this in a second. And throw black in between, and of course the pig is there because there always has to be animals. Get out of the way. Alright, there you go. Now, I'm going to try and make this as fast as possible while still being, while still trying to keep it possible to make. So you want to have that. Then let me just do a little bit here because it wouldn't be very easy to explain. And then I will show you. Alright, so this is what you want to have on top of his shoes. It's pretty simple. Oh no, the black goes 3 blocks up at its highest, but that's what you want to have anyway. Pause that if you have to. Now on top of this black square here you want to do 2 black blocks and then throw another square of black on top. And then what you want to do is you want to throw a grey on top of the black square and then do 2 grey coming outwards into another black block which should line up with the other black blocks, like that. All nice and simple. It's almost as if it's designed that way. And then you want to do black here and here. Because I've just done a run through of this tutorial and I hadn't even made the sides and it had taken 20 minutes, so that's a bad thing. So you want to have this, so far, on top of what you already had. Should be pretty simple, right? Right. Alright, so, pause that if you have to. From there, you want to fill everything in, like make the sides go up to the top of where you've built highest already with dark grey, and then fill all of it in with dark grey, and then you'll have the legs and the shoes. And now I don't know how it's going to be easiest to build now. Actually I do. So on top of these 2 middle blacks place 2 white wool, and then next to them you want to do 2 black wool coming upwards, and then you want to do an upright diagonal, well on either side like that, so it's coming outwards. And then you want to, on top of what you've just done blackwise, you want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, how? You want to do 7 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. God damn it, 6, 7. And same for the other side as well. Look at that, nice and dandy. Alright. So then you want to, at the top of that, extend the black out by 1 either side. Then you want to do 2 dark grey underneath, like that, then 1 black underneath, all nice and easy. And then you want to make this kind of shape. let me show you. So you can see where I've made that. I've made that on top of the funny shaped black. So you want to have that. And then you can fill in the spaces between those two black with dark grey, like that. And then we get to make some of, well, his shirt, I suppose it is. So I'm going to make a little bit of that and then show you, because it's not really explainer friendly. Alright, there you go. So this is part of it. Pretty easy, right? Right. So you want to copy that, pause that if you have to. So on top of the reds, you want to go up to as far as you have with the black. Like that. Now, on the top two reds, next to them, you want to do 2 white either side, coming down. And then you want to do a grey underneath the white, white underneath the grey, grey, white. You can see a repeating pattern here. If you can't, well, the world must be a magical place. So you want to have that. So far that should all be nice and neat and come together quite nicely. So then, on top of the 2 whites you already have, on top of the 2 reds you have, you want to do 2 white, and then 2 red on the either side, like so. And then you want to simply do dark grey. And now what we're going to, his head's kind of weird and different. His head comes 1 block lower than it should, which cuts off a little bit of the torso, but not all of it. So on top of what you already have, just do brown wool. So that should just be a row of 8, and then you can extend it out by 1 either side. And you just want to keep that there as a reminder of where his head goes, so you don't want to build over it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a little bit of his arm. I'm going to make his hands and cuffs, and then I'm going to zip away, and then I'll make the rest of his arms and then show you. So his arms start here, above this black, lines up with this white, and you want to start off with spruce wood, free brown coming outwards, and you essentially want to do that. Remember that his arm, everybody's arms, or at least most Minecraft skins' arms, come out by 4 blocks. Then let me just make the cuffs and stuff, then it'll be easier. I'm going to do it on the other side as well, because it's not really that complicated, or complicated at all, as a matter of fact. Red. Right. So, you should be able to see pretty easily what you've got to do for those 2 rows. So, like I said, I'm going to make either arm, and I'm going to then come back, and I'll have also have slept probably, because it'll probably be getting dark. Alright. While I'm still here, actually, a pro tip for doing his arms and any part of ASF Jerome, actually, just because of how it's set up, is to make sure that you've got all of one colour put in, and then you can just fill, you know, what's left with the other colour. I just thought I'd add that in, so now I'm just going to add the grey, and I'll be back. See, that's all nice and simple. So, you can make this arm now if you want, but I'm also going to go and make the other one, and then I'm going to like pan out on both of them. So whichever you prefer, and yeah. Alrighty, so they're both of his arms. They're just mirrors of each other, so if you're having trouble making it from that view, which you really shouldn't be really, you know, just go back to where I'm looking at the single arm and then just mirror it, but just in case you want to hit a zoomed in view, just disregard what I said, and there's also a zoomed in view of his other arm. Pause that where necessary, if necessary. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to the back. So, his back's actually really irritating to make, simply because there's no logical rhyme or reason to it, it's just blocks in random places. So what you want to do is you want to extend the whites of his shoes out by 3 blocks, coming backwards of course. So you want to do that all the way around like that. Then add 2 rows of black on top of the shoes. So 1 row and 2. And the reason that I do that is, you know, just to make sure that it is 4 blocks thick. just as all of the others are. So, fuck. So, what we're going to do is we're not going to make the sides just yet. The sides will take care of themselves later. We're going to make the back row of SF Jerome, and yeah, pretty much that. So, it starts off pretty simple. The bottom half's not that difficult. You start off with a row of dark grey wool. Then on the next row in the middle, you want to do a 2x2 square of black. Pretty simple. Then make everything even with dark grey. This is what you have so far. I'll show you every 3 blocks or so, or however it works out. Pause that if you have to. So then, on the next row after that, you want to do black on either end. Then fill the middle bit in with dark grey. Look at that. Then, you want to do 2 dark grey in the middle, throw a black either side, and throw 2 black on top, so you've got that. Then, on top of these 2 little single blacks, you want to make this shape next to them. I'm not really going to explain how to do that, but I learned this from the last one. I'm going to add a little bit of grey in so it's easier to see, otherwise it kind of conflicts with the front. But this is what you should have so far. I can almost see a dog's face in there. Maybe I'm just psychotic. Anyway, that's what you want to have so far. So, sorry, I really need some water. On top of that, you want to do a row of dark grey, and then a row of black, so that comes up to his waist. That's essentially the back of his belt. I don't think he actually has a belt, but I gave him one anyway. It's not exactly clear what you're supposed to do. Wear ambiguous skin, this one. So you want to have this so far, essentially. Now, things get a little tricky, to put it easily. So I'm gonna add some dark grey in because I think it'd be easier than doing the alternative, which is adding the black in. And then I'm going to show you what I've done. So, like I said, it's basically just a random pattern. It's almost as if a squid's just sprayed in with ink. I seriously hope that squids have ink. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So you want to have that, and that's all just built on top of the row that I called his belt. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add... how can we do this? It's kind of tricky, like I said. I'll just add a couple more rows in, and the rows of stuff, and then I'll see. So, skin has that, and that, and this. Alright, so I added a couple more rows. You want to have this so far, have it all nice and even, nice and smooth. So yeah, pause that if you have to. Then you can do this. So you can see what I've done on the right side. Basically, you know, I added the little bit, but the giant stick of grey just lines up with the top of here, just below the brown. And then it might be easy to add in the grey and then just simply add in the black. So you want to make this sort of shape, and then this. I hope this works out. Can you see what I've done? I hope so. I know it kind of conflicts with the front a bit, but it's easier if you make one colour and then do another colour, but pause that if you have to, but I'm going to show you what it looks like with all of the black put in now. His back kind of reminds me of, you know those, I don't know if they still do it, like those old-fashioned therapist tools where it's like, what can you see in the ink? I can see a butterfly. You're a psychopath, to the asylum with you. So you can see what I mean. Pause that if you have to. We're going to move on to his hands. Alright, so his hands start on the back where they do on the front, or on the same level rather. So let me make a little bit. Well, let me make his other hand as well, because it's pretty easy to make. Alright, so you can see, pretty simple, pretty simple. Pause that if you have to. Alright, so what we do then is we add on 2 rows of grey, and I don't know why I moved over, and 1 row of black. So this makes making the rest of his arms even easier. You can see I've just added that on top. So I'm going to make his arms, and I'm going to come back and then I'm going to show you. So, there you have it. Kind of a weird shape, I know. But that is what it's supposed to look like. I don't actually have a side view of Jerome. I forgot to record that bit, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you with this, get the recordings of the sides, do that, move on to the head, everything will be hunky-dory. Alright, so I had a bit of a look. Sides are really easy to make. You want to get on this side of Jerome. Okay, well, looking straight on at him is his left side, but technically his right side, if you were standing as he does. But, alright, so it's really simple. From what we have here, what you want to do is 3 rows of dark grey, like that. Make that 4 rows. Then, what you want to do is you want to add black here and here. I mean, it's easier if I just do it. Let's see. There. That you barely have to add any black whatsoever. It's mostly just grey. You know what? I'm going to sleep so you can see that easier. Alright, so that's much easier to see in the light. Look how simple that is. Almost elegantly simple. Right, so pause that if you have to, but this is the other side, and this is why I once again love symmetrical pixel arts. Oh, look, he's doing it so fast you can't move. Yeah. Just look at the other side, it's brilliant, it's like a plan. What I've just done is I've looked through, copied the other side. I love that aspect of these. Alright, so let's have a look at the arms. His arms are pretty simple to make as well. So basically you want to make sure that like the first 3 blocks of his arms, like the underneath of his hands, they're filled in because you don't want any spaces. But then you don't want to add the 4th layer because well, his 4th layer is actually patterned rather than just normal green, normal brown. So you want to have that, and I'll just make the whole arm like I did. It's pretty simple, There, up there, grey here, black there, grey here. Cool. Right. So that is his other arm. Well, that is his arm since I've not done the other arm. You want to pause that if you have to. Then his other arm. I'm going to do the exact same thing. You want to come back 3 blocks. Like that. Then you want to... There's a spruce wood, there it is. You want to do this. Then you can do the exact same thing. You can just copy from the other side. Making sure that you get it right from the other side is a different thing entirely, but yeah, there you go. Perfect. Like I said, copied straight through from the other side. Very simple. Completely perfect. Alright, so this is where the tricky bit sets in. This is gonna be bad. Right, so I'm filling these 2 rows on his shoulders. Again, you don't want any holes or anything in the pixel art. So you want those filled in, and you can also add the row of brown to the back. It's the same on the front. I thought I added it already, but whatever. So, right now, what we have is ASF Jerome without a head. Zombie ASF Jerome. He's been decapitated. So, God, this is going to be hard to explain. I've got a better front view than the one I'm looking at, as I have. Right, so basically, what you have from there, you want to raise from end of torso to torso, so leaving one round there. You want to raise that up, and then you want to raise that up. You want to go up by, give me a sec. You want to go up by 8 from this block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the same on the other side. We're going to change it a little bit, but connect it all up after we've made it, of course. And then you want to do the same for the back as well. You want to do this, and you want to connect it up, because he's got like his head's different depths and such. Like the inner part of his head is, whoops, that went a little too high. The inner part of his head is one block inwards, more so than his Wookiee beard, Wookiee hair, I don't know. So you want to have that. You want to have a little weird outliney cube thing. So from there we're going to make his face, and then we're going to add the extra layer on afterwards. So his mouth starts, fill that row in, go in one row. What? Give me a second, let me just... Alright, so I had a bit of a look and I was right. Get rid of the bed, you won't be needing that anymore. Take out pink. So what you want to do is, like exactly like I've done, after you've made the like cubey squarey thing, then you just want to add one layer to the front like that, and then you want to make his mouth, which is positioned here. Then you want to fill that row in with brown, and then you can do the next row in brown as well. And then we're going to add his nose. His nose is 2 blocks of grey above where the pink of his mouth is. And then you can fill the rest of the row with brown. Then his eyes are diagonal to that brown there, so you have that. And then you can fill the rest of it in with brown. I haven't decided whether I want to add in spruce wood for the top of his head yet. I don't think so, but we'll see. So once that's done, you just fill in like all of his head, or the sides of his head rather. Not all of it technically has to be filled in, but I think it might make it a little easier. I think I need to fill in the top of his head as well. Like I said, it's kind of a confusing one because of the different depths and everything. So bear with me. It does look better this way though. I was just gonna do this version, but I do like the extra added on. So let's see. Alright, I'm looking at it now. So basically, you want to... Oh, I forgot. Nah, screw it, we'll leave it like that for now. So on his face, you now want to add this. You want to... exactly here. You just want to add that layer on the front rather. And then to the side, you want to do this. Let me just, I'll do it and then I'll show you. Or does it go all the way? Of course it does. Right, so I've done this. Alright, so you can see basically I've just added the brown on the front of his face, and then it just wraps around from the top point all the way to the side, and it just carries on like that. pretty easy, It doesn't come down any further or anything, it just kind of gives that 3D effect. Can't remember what a Wookiee looks like exactly, but I'm pretty sure that they have a lot of excess hair. So then you want to do the same thing on the back. You want to wrap it around like this. But then for the top row it's kind of a little messy, so I knocked out these blocks for the back. So that should be the whole thing made. I'm going to give the head a bit of a once over and then the whole thing a once over. So this is the head. I know it might be a little confusing, probably not. I think I explained that pretty well. But I know that on the image that you'll have seen at the start, I added a little bit of spruce wood in, and there was nether brick for the tie and such. But I actually like it better without it. I don't know whether you will or not, but that's my personal preference. So I'm gonna sleep and then. Right, so that is Drome in all of his glory. I didn't used to like these statues, but I think you may have convinced me, to be honest with you. I do think the statues are a bit grander than the normal skins. Maybe I'll even redo some of the others once I've done, you know, some of my more important. I say more important. Some things that I have a higher priority for. But oh no, I don't think I could have done this any better. This wasn't just like my first attempt. I had a couple edited things here and there, but there you go. That is Drome. Hope you like it. Hope it was easy to follow, etc. Hey, if you've made it this far into the video, maybe you think I deserve a like. If you want to, comment, and if you're new here, maybe you should think about subscribing. I put out new content at least every other day. And for my fellow video makers, if you're interested in a YouTube partnership, click the link below in the description.